Hello! Today we are going to look at one of the questions that prospective course creators ask. And that question is, do you have to be an expert to create an online course? Well, this presentation is prepared by Joe Okoro, a digital marketing coach. So, have you ever desired to write a course, but you are challenged with one thought? And that thought is you may be asking yourself, but I am not yet an expert to create any course. The question is, do you really need to be an expert to create your own course? Well, the answer is no. The fact is, it takes an expert to teach a difficult concept very well. However, it takes someone who understands the same concepts, patience, and understanding to teach the basic things in a topic, skill, or activity at a beginner level, even though the person may not be an expert. Take note of that, okay? If you can do something or anything at all, then it means that you can teach another person how to do that same thing, even if you're not an expert. At every given time, there is always someone who understands or knows something that you don't know. And every expert acknowledges this. And that is why experts in general keep learning, because they know that learning never ends. Because if learning never ends, it means that there is always a gap. There's always a loophole in every body of knowledge that someone somewhere needs to fill at every given time. And that means that anyone can fill that gap. And it also means that someone doesn't need to be an expert to fill that gap. Okay? Now, going by the above understanding, it means that when it comes to any subject or topic, there is no universal teacher who owns a particular space of knowledge. There will always be someone who knows more about a topic than you do, and this doesn't discredit or diminish your knowledge of that very topic. So, if you have felt that you need to be an expert to create a course, it is possible that you are suffering from a mindset problem. A mindset problem called the impostor syndrome, or simply call it self doubt. Now, the question that may be going on in your mind is, what is the impostor syndrome? Well, the impostor syndrome is when you have that feeling that you are not good enough to do anything, when you are in the habit of questioning your ability or your skills, and you find it difficult to do something because someone else is already doing it, and you feel that doing that thing is exposing you as a fraud, because to you they were there before you, and you feel that by trying to do the same thing that others are doing, you are mimicking them, and that doesn't make you original. And because of that, you feel you are not unique enough, and you feel that you are an imposter. You are just trying to mimic what others are doing. When you feel you are not good enough, that is what the impostor syndrome is all about. Now look at the image before you. This image describes what an impostor syndrome makes you feel. So if you're an impostor syndrome, you're affected by what you think about others, what you think others know of a particular subject. You feel that what you know cannot be equated with others. Now, of course, what you know cannot be equated with others, no, but you feel that what others know about that particular subject is superior to what you know. And if you look at that, you see that what you know is outside this circular box, okay? And that is why you feel that you're an imposter. Whereas the reality is, if you look at the next image, you see that in a body of knowledge, what others know, if you add what you know to it, it fills a gap. in that body of knowledge. It feels a loophole to complete it, as you can see. So what you know can actually be a part of a body of knowledge that makes it complete. That is a reality. And this is in contrast to what you think about what others know about a particular subject, about a particular topic. You feel that because others know it and you are trying to do the same thing they are doing, you are an impostor. So if you feel that you cannot do something good, or that you cannot create a cause, if it's in your mind to create a cause, you need to be an expert, you are suffering from what we call an impostor syndrome. Now, the question is, how do you overcome that mindset problem, impostor syndrome? To overcome the impostor syndrome, there's one thing you need to do. And what is that thing? You need to change your mindset. You see, there are two types of mindset, according to Carol S. Dweck, the author of the book Mindset, The New Psychology of Success. According to Carol S. Dweck, he identifies these two types of mindset to be the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. So those who have a fixed mindset, according to Carol S. Dweck, he says that the people that have a fixed mindset has conclusive belief on things because that is how they feel. Okay, so it means that if you have a fixed mindset, your mindset is fixed as the word describes it. You have concluded on your belief on anything. Whereas the second type of mindset, which he identifies as the growth mindset, refers to people that have an open mind and people that are receptive to ideas for growth. So these are the two types of mindset that Carol Dweck identifies: a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. So someone who suffers from the impostor syndrome simply has a fixed mindset issue, and this person needs to swap or change from that fixed mindset belief to the growth mindset belief. Okay? That is how you can overcome the impostor syndrome, by simply shifting your mindset from that of a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Now, let's look at the comparison between the reasonings of two people who have these two types of mindset. So, for someone who has a fixed mindset, how does he reason? So, let's say someone who has a fixed mindset makes a mistakes, and he says to himself, I have made a serious mistakes. There is nothing I can do. This is how those who have a fixed mindset react to a mistake. But someone who has a growth mindset reacts differently. So instead of saying, I have made a serious mistake, there's nothing I can do, like someone who has a fixed mindset would do, what will he say? He will say something like, I am learning new things from my mistakes. Therefore, I'm going to make improvements. You see that there is progression in the mindset of someone who has a growth mindset. He's using his mistakes as a way to improve. Okay, whereas a fixed mindset person has already concluded that there is nothing that can be done about the mistake he has done. Now let's look at another example for someone who has a fixed mindset. So let's assume that this person says to himself, I am not good at marketing and I will never become successful at it. You see that that statement is conclusive. How will someone who has a growth mindset respond to the same situation? Well, such a person may say something like, I am going to work hard to master how to market so that I can sell lots of products. You can see that the response of someone who has a growth mindset here again is different. It's progressive. It's showing that improvement can be made. He's willing to learn instead of making conclusions that he can never be successful at marketing. Now let's look at the third example. Let's assume someone who has a fixed mindset makes this statement: I am not an expert and I would never be able to create an online course. You see that word, never be able to create an online course, because he believes that he's not an expert and he will never be able to create an online course. How would someone who has a growth mindset reply or respond to the same situation? Someone who has a growth mindset will just say, I am willing to learn what it takes to master a particular topic, or what it takes to create an online course, and I'm going to become successful at it like the experts do. Now, these two reasonings are the reasonings of people that have these two types of mindset: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. So you can see that these are reasoning patterns of two different minds. Okay, of course, these two different minds can actually be one person who may be experiencing this. It could also be two different persons. But the point is, we are talking about a situation where one person can switch from one mindset to the next. Okay, so if you are to pick the one who will be successful at the end of the day at his craft, no doubt the person with the growth mindset would always win. And of course, from the picture you see, the picture is showing people with different mindsets. They are not the same. Okay. Now, so if you are having self-doubt, or you are having a fixed mindset, as identified earlier, you need to make the conscious decision to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And is this shift that can make the difference between a regular entrepreneur and a great one. Now, to make the shift to having a growth mindset, you simply need to be positive and open-minded. That is the only thing you need to do. You need to be positive, you need to be open-minded, so that you'll be able to receive information that will change your life. You don't need to be conclusive based on how you feel it. You need to allow new information to make you progressive in your reasoning. So understand that anything is possible, because according to Napoleon Hill, the author of the classic book Think and Grow Rich, he says that if you believe you can do it, you are right. If you believe you cannot do it, you are also right. So whether you have a growth mindset or you have a fixed mindset, whatever you decide, that is how it ends up at the end of the day. And if you want to get a better result, you need to change your mindset. Remember, Napoleon Hill says, if you believe you can do it, you can do it. If you believe you cannot do it, you cannot do it. Now, let us look at why you don't need to be an expert to create an online course. If you have the desire to create an online course, or if it has crossed your mind at any point in time, I want you to know that there are advantages that you have got that experts don't have. So I'm referring to you if you are a newbie, if you are a person who has anticipated or had, if the thought of creating a course have ever crossed your mind. Now, here are two areas where you can excel more than the expert does. The first area is you don't have the expert blind spot that most experts possess. You may be wondering, what is expert blind spot? Well, the expert blind spot occurs when you have a deep understanding of a subject and you forget how difficult it was to learn the subject in the first place. Usually, it is the experts that have this problem, and it is a blind spot for them. They don't see it, but it is there. It's a problem that they have, because they have deep knowledge of a subject matter. They have so much knowledge about it that they tend to forget how difficult it was to learn that subject. They tend to forget how many years it took them to master that concept. But because they have been doing it for a very long time, they tend to forget that area, such that when they teaching it, they don't remember those gray areas when they were starting out. In other words, an expert takes the basic things he knows for granted, and he unconsciously assumes that others know them as well. And because of this, he will not be thorough in teaching those concepts, which might be, in fact, an advanced topic to his students. So if you are not an expert, you will not have that expert blind spot. This blind spot is only peculiar to experts. Okay. Now, a beginner who is coming into the same field already has a fresh knowledge of understanding, and this beginner will do a better job at teaching others the basics in clearer terms because he is starting from scratch. In other words, not being an expert is an advantage because it will allow you to be closer to the learning experience of your students, or the learning experience that your students will have. Now, let's look at the second thing you need to know about being an expert to create a course. Why you don't need to be an expert to create a course. The second thing is you have a unique experience. You see, there are so many ways to teach the same topic. If you have a topic you are passionate about, the way Mr. A will teach it will be different from the way Mr. B will teach it. But all of this will lead to the same end goal at the end of the day. The way you understand a topic and teaches it is unique to you, and many of your students will be drawn to you based on your own unique experience. For example, if you teach people how to lose weight, some people may enjoy watching your videos on YouTube to learn about how to lose weight. Others may prefer reading it on newsletter via email, yet others may prefer having a podcast or blog posts, articles on the same subject matter. So whatever medium you choose to teach is based on your own unique experience and what is more convenient for you. And this is what sets you apart from others doing the same thing. So you have your own unique experience, and that is a plus. And this is another reason why you don't need to be an expert to create an online course. So if you've ever doubted yourself, okay, and you feel that you need to be an expert to create a course, the reasons I have highlighted above that I have explained so far should relax your mind and help you understand that being an expert is not and never a prerequisite to create an online course. Even as a newbie, you can do it. If you are interested in any topic at all and you are willing to learn, you can actually put up a great course that will later become a bestseller if you have an open mindset, even if you are not an expert. Okay, so if you want to learn how to create your own course, I have created a special free video presentation that will take you through the process step by step. This free video presentation is titled the 7-Figure Online Course Presentation. This video is going to teach you exactly the steps you need to take to create and launch an online course that will surely sell. Okay, so if you want to have access to it, please use the link in the description below this video to access this video presentation. If you enjoyed the answer to this very question that is handled on this video, please like, subscribe, and leave your comments below. Thank you for watching, and do have a wonderful day.